Jake was a boy who lived in a peaceful little village with his parents. His family were farmers, living a simple but happy life. Although smart and quick-witted, Jake was known as the laziest person in the entire village. Every day, his only job was to help his father watch over the rice fields, specifically, to chase away the birds that came to ruin the crops. While other children used sticks or slingshots to chase birds, Jake didn't want to exert himself. He came up with an idea. He set up wooden poles around the field and connected them with ropes. Whenever birds came, he just had to pull a rope to scare them off. This way, he could complete his task while lying under the shade of a tree. His parents were often concerned about his laziness, but since Jake always finished his work, they didn't scold him. Everything began to change that summer, when Jake's father fell seriously ill. With no one else to help, Jake had to manage the entire field on his own. However, he had never done hard labor before, and he quickly became exhausted. He didn't know how to irrigate, how to check the crops, or how to handle all the work. After a few weeks, the rice plants began to wither from lack of water, and the whole harvest was on the verge of failing. One evening, Jake sat alone under the starry sky, looking out at the dry, lifeless field. He felt incredibly disappointed in himself. He thought, "Why didn't I learn and try harder sooner? Now my family is in trouble, and I'm helpless." That was the first time Jake truly felt the consequences of his laziness, and it was also the turning point that led to great change in his life. The next morning, while still sitting hopelessly beside the dying field, Jake heard loud chatter coming from the village. Curious, he went to see and found a soldier from the palace announcing a grand competition. The winner would receive a chest of gold. The contest was open to everyone in the kingdom, anyone could participate. Jake immediately thought, "If I win, I can use the gold to treat my father and save the crops." Without hesitation, he signed up, ignoring the villagers' laughter. Everyone said, "Jake, compete. He can't even get off the ground, how can he win?" But this time, Jake didn't care. Inside him, a powerful determination had begun to grow, stronger than ever before. The contest began 3 days later. The first challenge was to cross a large lake. The top 3 to finish would move on to the next round. When the signal was given, all the contestants jumped into the water and started swimming. They were tall, strong, athletic people. Jake knew he couldn't win with strength alone, so he thought fast. He ran into the nearby forest, gathered fallen branches, and built a simple raft, using a stick as a paddle. As he slowly rowed across, he smiled to himself. The challenge is to cross the lake, not to swim. Thanks to that idea, Jake finished third and made it to the next round. The final challenge was to push a giant wooden block 1 kilometer to the finish line. Each contestant could choose one tool to assist them. Some chose ropes, others picked levers, but Jake chose a small knife. People thought he was crazy. But instead of pushing the block, Jake carved it into a round shape like a ball and began to roll it. To everyone's surprise, Jake was the first to finish. He had won, not with muscle, but with intelligence and determination. It was the first time Jake proved to everyone, and to himself, that he was no longer just a lazy boy. Jake's story clearly shows one thing: laziness isn't the end, it's only the starting point, if you have a big enough reason to change. Jake wasn't the strongest or the most hard-working person. But when faced with hardship, a sick father, dying crops, a struggling family, he realized for the first time that if he didn't act, everything could be lost forever. Jake didn't change because others told him to. He didn't change because of the mockery or to prove something to the villagers. The only thing that pushed him forward was love for his family. That love became his greatest strength, pushing him out of his comfort zone and into the unknown. Throughout the competition, Jake didn't try to be the strongest, the fastest, or the toughest. He simply used his mind and his willpower to find the smartest way forward. He made the most of what he had, a creative mind, sharp observation, and, above all, a deep inner drive. That's what led him to victory, not just in the competition, but in overcoming the lazy version of himself. The message from Jake's story is simple: you don't need to be perfect to succeed. You just need a strong enough reason to begin, whether it's love, family, a dream, or simply the desire to change your life. If you've ever felt lazy, unmotivated, or underestimated, remember Jake. If a boy once mocked by his entire village could turn things around with nothing but willpower and heart, so can you.